Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the 2023 reading wrap up with the stats. Okay, if you saw my December wrap up, then you know, rocking the colored hair, rocking the colored nails, rocking my new Savage Fenty onesie because I'm in my onesie era. This is gonna be a fun. This video is for my stats girlies, for my stats mutuals, for my stats followers. You guys want to see how I read, even though I was in such a creative slump pretty much all of 2023. I did do some reading. I did some reading this year. So let's just jump into it because the slideshows for this video are significantly longer because I am adding lots of books. They were significantly harder for me to put together too, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to get through it and I'm going to give you the numbers because that's what you're here for. So let's start off with the stat numbers, right? So in 2023, I read a whopping number of 288 books. 94 of them were audiobooks. 186 of them were ebooks. Y'all, I read with text-to-speech this year. I can't call it an audiobook. It was an ebook, but yes. 43 of them were ARCs. Wow. Yeah. I actually read 8 physical books. That was in the beginning of 2023 when I was in my cookbook phase. So those go on there. Let's get to the ratings, which y'all want to know. They're subjective, of course, but the numbers don't lie. I'm an average girly. So I DNF'd and self-cared 17 times with 17 DNFs. I had 0 1-star books. So it was either I hated it and I didn't finish reading it, or I just called you a dumpster fire with 5 2-star books, 43 star books, got a meh, and 136 books were okay. I liked them. I'm not going to rave about them. And then we have 90 books, 90 books that I want to rave about, but I'm not going to. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to rave about 90 of them. Alrighty. So these are the stats for the blackout portion where I read Black authors, and I broke it down by month. So in the month of January, I read 10 Black authored books. February was 17 books. March was 7 books. April was 8 books. May was 8 books. June was 6 books. July was 10 books. August was 25 books. September was 23 books. October was 17 books. November was 16 books. And in the month of December, I read 16 books that were authored by Black. That were by Black authors. Tongue twister, that were Black authored. There we go. I think that's how I should say it. So that is a total of 163 out of 288 books written by Black authors that I read supported with a 56% total. So I'm reading over half. Yes, that's a thing. Last year, I started a Kindle Unlimited challenge where I challenged myself to either pull out my max of 20 books or a good number to that 20 of books and then read through them. So I broke it down by the month to know how many I actually read. If you are interested in either one of these, since I'm not going over titles or anything like that, for the blackout section as well as the KU section, you can always go back in my videos. I have playlists that have those actual like book covers and authors and things like that over there. Use the playlists and find out the information that you're looking for. But here are the numbers. In January, I read 10 books. In February, I read 10 books. In March, I read 9 books. In April, I read 8 books. In May, I read 5 books. In June, I read 4 books. In July, I read 5 books. In August, I read 17 books. In September, I read 13 books. In October, I read 8. In November, I read 8. In December, I read 13. So that's 110 books out of the 288 books that were obtained through Kindle Unlimited. So that's a 38% margin of books that I read from Kindle Unlimited. I was working my Kindle Unlimited out, y'all. Okay, so this section was super, super hard for me. These are the top reads. So there was no way I was going to pick like a top 10 or what have you out of the 90. So what I did was took one book, and it was super hard. It was so, so hard. From each month out of the top reads books. So those are the only ones that were eligible to get on this list. And I broke it down by month. So for the month of January, my top read was Compassion by Xavier Neal. Like, this book was so good that I had to start 2024 off with an Xavier Neal book, and I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed. Xavier Neal's writing style for this book is a little different, but overall, I really enjoyed it. It talks about the unhoused person's dilemma that we have going on in the United States. It talks about the veteran population. It talks about, being a good person and allowing that second chance, not judging a book by its cover, and just overall having compassion for people. It was the perfect book to start off 2023. And it really set the tone for what I was looking for in 2023. Like, I needed compassion in the books that I read, and it was amazing. It was amazing. For February, I went with The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. Ha! This book. I went through, I think, every single emotion with this book. I mean, I laughed, I cried. I want to say this was the first. Is this the first? I think this may be the first Brittany Cherry book that was a Black love book that I was just like, ha! Ha ha ha. Brittany, you wrote the shit out of that book. You wrote the shit out of that book, and I still love. I think I might do a reread of it because it was just so beautiful and sweet and emotional. Like, she punched me in the face in the beginning of it with our trauma that our characters were going through, and then just kept punching me in the face. Kept punching me all in the emotions, and I was here for it. For March was a hard month to pick. Ha! Talk about hard month on which book I was going to pick. But I went with Those Three Little Words by Megan Quinn. This is Vancouver Agitators book. I believe it's number 2. I didn't write it down, but I believe it's number 2 in the series, and it is one of my favorite tropes ever, which is surprise pregnancy or just pregnancy, period. I love a good pregnancy book, and the fact that Megan had sent out feelers a couple years prior to get the information that she put in this one, she had us laughing, she had us crying, she had us fanning ourselves with the spice, and yes, it was so good. It was so good. For the month of April, I went with Ravishing Rain, which is Royal Reflections number 3 by Alethea Romig. This was the almost conclusion, giving more twists, giving more royalty, giving more identity all over the place, and I was here for it. For the month of May, I went with Severe by Keita Kendrick. Talk about romantic suspense and just all the goodness. I love this book. It's a motorcycle romance. You are in these two people's heads and you're like, what am I reading? One's an assassin, one is the target, and and then there's like these little Easter eggs of people that if you have been reading Kita, if you were sporadically reading Kita, you're like, oh wait, I know that character. I know that character. I know that place. Why does this seem familiar? Yes, because they're all like interconnected. And I was like, yes, thank you very much. Give me more. Yes, 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 yes. So for the month of June, I went with Until I Get You by Claire Contreras. I didn't think I had low expectations going into this book, and then Claire blew it up. Claire blew it up with her romantic suspense, stalker, dark hockey romance. Our characters tango around each other. They fall in love while they're in college, and then something ends up happening, and there's some secrets that are being held, and then we jumped forward and people aren't together, but they're still thinking about each other. And the amount or the way that they get back together, let me just tell you, that man was not letting that woman go. And yeah, check your trigger warnings before you read it, but it was so good. It was so good. It was so good. Yes. For July, I went with Prince of the Brotherhood by Kate Alex Walker. This is a Brafa story that has some twists and turns that I was like, is that really gonna happen? Is that gonna happen? Yeah. I may have called some of the things that were happening in the book, but the twists were twisting and the suspense was suspensing, and I ate that shit up. That whole series, I ate it up. Ate it up. Ate it up. Yes. For August, I went with Only for a Week by Natasha Bishop. I had insomnia one night. I picked it up and I finished it. I could not put this book down. It was messy. It was swoony. Like if I had family like our main female character, I couldn't. I couldn't. But the man, our main male character, ha, 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 ha. Woo, swoony. Started from the airport, from the departure to the vacation, secluded vacation wedding, and just to the end. That man, who gave all the BDE. Ha ha. Ha. Yes. For September, I went with The Grim Reaper's Lawyer by Mia Monique, and I had seen it all over TikTok. I was like, I don't know, because TikTok did me kind of wrong, or has been doing me wrong, has done me wrong in the past, to hyping books that didn't. This one right here deserved all the hype, and I am not a girly that likes political or well, I shouldn't say political, that doesn't like real life inserted into my books, right? But the way Mia Monique added those tidbits, those connections, those issues and topics into this book, I need the second book. I need the next book. I need to keep going. I know Mia Monique is working on her attorney law career, but ma'am, I need you to like give me more in this series, because I know there's more. I know there's more. And you left us kind of buttoned up, but kind of not buttoned up. And I kind of need it. I kind of need it. Yeah. For the month of October, I think this was another hard month um, for which book I actually was going to pick. And I went with The Marriage Bargain by A.R. Williams. Ha! I wasn't liking these characters in the beginning of this book, but then, whew, we got a sort of forced, arranged, needing circumstance wedding marriage. And let's just say it propelled me into this series of this family, and this whole family just gave me all that I needed. It gave me enemies to lovers. It gave me uh kind of insta love. It gave me rivals. It gave me Silver Fox. Oh, not this book, but the one of the books in the series. A.R. Williams. Yes. Yes. For the month of November, I will not take any criticism for this one. It is Iron Flame, Empyreans #2, by Rebecca Yarros. Now, there was a little bit of a slumpy moment, like from part 1 to part 2. I kind of felt like we were on this like trajectory that was like super high at the end of part 1, and then it just like plummeted for part 2. But then we were back on that roller coaster ride. So it was a roller coaster ride, and I take no criticism for it. Y'all can think what you want about it. Y'all can have your own criticisms on it. Your thoughts on it are valid, just like my thoughts on it are valid. And I loved it. I loved it. I can't wait for book number 3. And all I know is that nothing better happened to my core 5. And I can't wait to get more teenage Andarna. I can't wait to find out all the things, even though we're not going to get all the things. Yeah. But I need to do a second reread of it anyway, so I can't wait. The first read of this in November when it came out, I read it for pleasure. I read it for the ambiance, to find out what was coming next, and just yes. So I'm sure in 2024 I will have more thoughts on it, because of course I will either read it once or twice more before the third book comes out, which I can't wait for. I really need it now. Like, oof. Whew. And I was one of the lucky ones that didn't have any issues with my books. On to December. December was a month. It was a month, yes. And I'm going with Sensory Desire by Nkoy and Zhang. This was another hard month for me to choose. I believe December may have been a month where I got, no, that was November. So there were some books that don't come out until 2024 that were absolutely amazing that didn't make this top list. Just letting you know. And if you know, then you know which book I'm talking about specifically. But yes, but back to Sensory Desire. This book, it's a novella, y'all, and it was giving me spice. It gave me sensory desire. Like, I was like, can I get one of my senses taken away from me and have some of those things done? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, all right. Woo. Just, it was giving what it needed to give. It just did. It did. And I am still thinking about that book. So for, TikTok, I did my end of the year TikTok challenge. Here are the books that I read of the last 19 days of the year of 2023, and I got through 17 of them out of the 24 that you are seeing right there. So, alrighty. If you know my outro, feel free to jump ahead to all of the books from 2023. These are in no particular order. They are only broken down by months, and enjoy. There's no thoughts on them. They are just the books, out of order, but broken down by month. So jump ahead if you like. Timestamps in the bottom. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Also, there's a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. And here's to hoping 2024 is creatively a little bit better for me. There we go. All right. Bye, guys.
I wake up from the sunshine on my face, so dehydrated, don't know what to say. Who's sleeping by my side? What did I do last night? Can someone make this headache go away? Yesterday was supposed to be quiet, being to myself and sit in silence, until I got a call. My friend showed up at my door. They wanted me to go out for a while. We were dancing in the dark with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. Wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, oh, wow, oh, oh, wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, oh, wow, oh, oh. Every morning after feels the same. I know I only have myself to blame for drinking way too much. I guess I got caught up. Can someone make this headache go away? We were dancing in the dark with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. Wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, oh, wow, oh, oh, wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, 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 wow, oh, oh, wow, oh, oh. The sun is about to set, and the purple sea there's a fire dancing in my flame. Tranquility. Is anybody here beside me? It's possible I make believe, as long as I can feel There's a shadow dancing